All praises to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Warakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect throughout the four corners of this whole entire earth, no matter where, whom they may be, or what they may look like, pushing out this purified truth to the rest of the church who believe as well. You men who may not be teachers or prophets, to you women, sons and daughters also. The water to Yahweh Shai, because without him enduring and going to that cross for the nation of Israel and the nation of Israel alone, none of this would even be possible whatsoever. We have to remain strong and keep our faith in our Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because it's easy to get distracted. It's easy to get caught up in the flesh. It's easy to get caught up in the desires of this world. It's easy to be hard on yourself. It's easy to blame the Lord it's easy to do what's wrong. Simple analogy. If you had a big juicy cheeseburger and then you had a big salad next to it, if you had to choose one of them, most people would choose the big juicy cheeseburger. Although the salad is more healthy, it's always easier to do what's not necessarily good for you. A lot of men have come into this truth and they fell out. And this is a spiritual war. And just like in war, men come in, some survive, some don't. Okay? Let's go to the book of Mark, chapter 4 and verse 17. Let's jump up. This is Mark 4 and 15. And these are they by the wayside, where the word is sown. But when they heard, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts. Imagine someone going around cultivating the soil, performing husbandry, planting seeds in the soil, and you have some man behind him going around digging up the seed in that soil. Here it is, that man's going around watering the seeds which he has planted, but some of those seeds have been rooted out the earth, so nothing is going to grow there. A lot of you Israelites, you don't understand that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai has the elect that have been called from the beginning. And if we ain't called from the beginning, there's nothing we can do about that, because the story is already written. Either you're the elect or you're not. So any man who has come into this and they fell out, they don't make this truth a lie. They just show they was never chosen by the Lord. That's all. And these are they by the wayside, where the word is sown. But when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts. And these are they likewise which are sown on stony ground, who when they have heard the word immediately received it with gladness. Let's go into that word, stony ground. Rocky, stony, of a ground full of rocks. So imagine some man going around and he's tossing seeds on the gravel. And then certain parts of the gravel, he's digging up the earth and trying to plant seeds in it. He's going to have a real hard time to get that to grow. All right? Most people who hear this word, and this word is likened unto many things, and one of the things the word represents is like a seed. This seed is being planted into Jacob. This seed is being planted into your mind, your mind's soil. If your mind's soil is full of gravel, it's not going to really do you any good to try to plant the seed. But nevertheless, the attempt has been made. So the word is being sown. Not all of our people are willing because they're not deeply rooted, or the seed, I should say, hasn't been deeply rooted. It was sown on stony ground to where you're here today and you're gone tomorrow. Okay. Anyways, and these are they likewise, which are sown on stony ground, who when they have heard the word immediately receive it with gladness. Many hear the word and they're all excited to be labeled the Lord's people. Excited to be told that they're the Hebrew Israelites. The men find out, dang, I can have multiple women. What? It's lawful. It's not a sin. I can be head over my wife. What? Oh, man. I do have value. They get excited. They get to feeling good. They get to feeling confident because they received the sweet. But along that, they left out there's a bitterness too. All right. Verse 18. And these are they which are sown among thorns, such as hear the word, and the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches, and the lust of other things, entering in, choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful. So having the cares of this life, being of this world, trying to have vain things, trying to be rich, those are the type of things that are going to make you fall out this truth. For example, the man I used to have go out there and read for me for about a year. You know, he didn't last very long, man, but he went out there with me for about a year. He would read for me. Well, he left the truth to go back into the world, to be on tour with a, really, you know, where I'm from, we don't really breed celebrities, man. It's really an insignificant place where I come from. Okay. But he's left this truth to go back into the world because somebody finally made it where I came from, and he happens to be related to the guy. So he left with that guy, you know, to chase riches and the women and all that. That mentality is going to choke this word out of you. That means your mind is like gravel. Your mind is like thorns. It's like a thorn bush. You've been, you know, given the seed, but that seed was given to you around thorns and thistles and gravel. You're no good because eventually the word gets choked out of you. That seed ain't going nowhere. It ain't growing. I should say it ain't growing nowhere because of the cares of this world. Okay? And the cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches. And, you know, a lot of these celebrities, they don't tell you all the things they have to do to remain rich and to stay in their position. You just see the riches and the lust of other things entering in, choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful. Let's go into that word choke. The word choke, Greek 4846. It looks like it says sumnigo, sumpnigo. Okay. To choke utterly, metaphorically, the seed of the divine word sown in the mind, to press round or throng one so as almost to suffocate him. Dang, man. See, and that's the spirit, because, and I never looked into this word until now, but the word being choked out of you, the word is the breath. If you choke somebody, they can't breathe. What ends up happening to them? They end up dying. That's why a lot of our people are spiritually dead. They've been choked to death. Damn. All right. choke the word and it becometh unfruitful. Okay, so this word is the breath. This word is like a seed. This word is represented as many things. But if a person's mind is likened unto a thorn bush or gravel, what good is that seed going to be? They end up falling out. They go back into the world. They thinking they're going to chase their dreams and they're going to be somebody. And they just gonna, go on with their life with no repercussions. They got the wrong idea. This is Job 9:4. He is wise in heart and mighty in strength. Who hath hardened himself against him and hath prospered? So if you fall out the truth because this word was never rooted in you, you're hardening yourself against the Lord. And then in your mind, you thinking, okay, now I'm going to prosper. I'm going to chase my dreams. I'm going to go back and do what I was going to do before. This word has set me back. Now it's time for me to set my wings and fly away. Who has rebelled against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua and prospered? You're going to be the first one in history to do that? You're going to be the brave man to say, let me step forth and be the first man to prosper fighting against the Lord. Get the hell out of here, man. Any man who falls out this truth, yes, it was ordained, but don't think it's going to be well with you. That's why we got to hope and pray that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua keep the Holy Spirit on us, man. We don't want to end up like that. Nothing good comes from falling out this truth. He is wise in heart and mighty in strength. Who hath hardened himself against him and hath prospered? Okay, and the answer is nobody. And ultimately, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua controls everybody. So even those who have hardened themselves against him, he made them harden themselves against him. And a good example of that being Pharaoh, going back in the times of Egypt, when we were enslaved under the Egyptians. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12 and verse 22. Therefore, whereas thou dost chasten us, thou scourgest our enemies 1,000 times more. So let's jump back to Mark 4:17 right quick, because there's a point I got to bring out that I didn't bring out. Okay. Mark 4:17. And have no root in themselves, and so endure but for a short time. Afterward, when affliction or persecution ariseth for the word's sake, immediately they are offended. So they get to hearing the good news. Let's jump back. Mark 4:16. And these are they likewise which are sown on stony ground, who when they have heard the word immediately receive it with gladness. So you hear all the great things of being an Israelite, you happy, not considering the persecution and the afflictions that come with it, the mental headaches, all the things that are positive you might consider, but you didn't really weigh out, some of the bitterness as well. That's why many, when they come in and they start catching that hell, it's like, shit, I can't keep going through this, man. I give up. They end up tapping out just for the Lord to destroy their asses later anyway. And have no root in themselves. So if this word is not rooted in you, you're not going to make it. And have no root in themselves. And so endure but for a time. Let me read that again. And have no root in themselves, and so endure but for a time. Afterward, when affliction or persecution ariseth for the word's sake, immediately they are offended. So our people, many may come into this truth, but not everybody is going to have the ability to endure. Many are going to fall out when afflictions start to come. They hear the good things and they smile. Oh, I'm going to have slaves. Oh, I'm a great people. I can have this. I can do that. But you forgot about the bitterness as well. All right. Wisdom of Solomon 12:22. Wherefore, whereas thou dost chasten us, thou scourgest our enemies 1,000 times more. So instead of enduring the persecution, you have those who will fall out the truth just to be afflicted even worse, to be put to a worse position. Because no good is coming to the Lord's enemies, man. Therefore, whereas thou dost chasten us, thou scourgest our enemies 1,000 times more, to the intent that when we judge, we should carefully think of thy goodness. And when we ourselves are judged, we should look for mercy. So instead of looking at it like, look, yeah, we catching hell, we going through persecutions and afflictions, but we're hoping for the Lord's mercy. Many people, they have the mentality like, man, I can't keep going through this. I'm about to just tap out. You ain't gonna make it. Not with that mentality, you're not. Okay, so we gotta hold on, because whether or not we are in the truth or out the truth, you're going to be afflicted and chastised. But the scriptures also talk about there's a shame, for the wicked and the righteous. Not in those words, We want to make sure that, any shame that we face is in righteousness. Not for being idiots, not for being fools. Many men have spiritually died, man. And the fact that we still going, the Lord still has us, with that breath. The breath hasn't been choked out of us. We got to consider ourselves blessed. Ain't no such thing as luck, man. So I'm going to go on ahead and close it right there. We got to give all thanks and praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, that the Lord hasn't allowed the word, which is the breath, to be choked out of us, man. Because to be choked, you can't breathe. If you can't breathe, you're going to die. So Shalom Yahweh. I said Shalom Yahweh. Kahala Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. That we still have that ability to remain and to endure. Shalom.